Good morning. Welcome along to day number one of our 40 days. I am jumping on to share with you today the essential oil of the day, which is cassia. Cassia is also a cinnamon, so Cinnamomum cassia. Um, it's from the laurel family and it's distilled from the bark. So why am I doing this one first? Well, it's the first one that I got asked about. I'm pretty sure I've done a video on cassia before, so I'll pop that into the description or into the comments, depending on where I'm sharing this. And I have a few new books that I'm going to be sharing with you from. So before we get started, for those of you that haven't seen videos with me, I'm B, and I am here to help you understand complexity, especially when it comes to ways and means to help yourself, okay, feel that little bit better. So Cassia is our kickoff, 40 days of this activity. So settle in, hey? Alrighty. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you was that the ways that I use cassia, okay? So cassia is quite a strong essential oil because it comes from that bark. So it's steam distilled from the bark. Um, it smells quite strong as well, and some people can have a little bit of an aversion to it, but at the same time, it's a bit sweet. And if you get it in the right angle or if you get it at the right spot, you will think cinnamon donuts, okay? If you're someone that correlates smell to food, because there's a strong connection between our sense of smell and our sense of taste and then what we'll eat. But it's used in cooking, obviously, but it's also used as an antiseptic. And it has a really cool property to it, which assists with preventing the establishment of biofilms. Now, why is that important? So, when you are on a bit of a journey to cleanse out your inside, or if you've picked up bugs in your life along the way and you would like to remove them from your system, having something that helps to break down the biofilm that they produce around themselves, like a little force field, if you like, and then make sure that they're not able to rebuild it, assists you with the process of eradication. Uh, okay, so first things first, let's have a little bit of a share from a book that comes from Scott Johnston, Dr. Scott Johnson, who's devoted his life to research, which I love. And this book is his molecular pharmacology of essential oils. So it goes into the pathways, the molecular pathways, and the way that they work. So we won't go too far into that in the interest of simplicity and getting this into your life and making sure that you know how to use it. So. What we have listed in here for cassia, Cinnamomum cassia, presents a broad spectrum of therapeutic potential. Its potent antimicrobial activity, particularly against drug-resistant pathogens like Staphylococcus, which I keep thinking of Staphylococcus aureus, and Klebsiella pneumoniae, underscores its clinical relevance. Now, I do have a blend which I will pop in the comments or in the description. Two blends actually. One is a wound spray, and the other one is a link to an article, but I'll also pop the roller blend in, a link to an article that talks about the significance of cassia combined with tangerine and thyme to assist with staph. Yeah, which is what Staphylococcus is. It's just there's a few different variants of staph. Okay. Furthermore, its efficacy in reducing inflammation and modulating immune response suggests a role in managing inflammatory conditions. So it's a really good one, right? The other thing, jumping around a bit, you'll learn this way with me. The other thing that cassia is phenomenal for is in terms of helping to bring circulation and warmth to the extremities. So cold hands and cold feet, think of it that way. Also really, really good along with its bestie, cinnamon, to assist with blood sugar regulation, which sometimes that can be what is showing with the, I want to say the peripheral coldness, but with the coldness in the extremities, okay? So the suggested uses for cassia are around the breast and the lung in terms of cancer. So this is suggested therapeutic uses, breast cancer and lung. It's going to assist with bacterial antibiotic resistant infections. So this is why Cassia has been actually researched so much scientifically because of the fact that humans and the bugs and microbes that and parasites and everything else that we live alongside have become resistant to certain things that we like to create and think that that's going to fix everything, right? Cassia, and you'll find this with a lot of essential oils and plant compounds when they are used in their holistic state, um, because they are a whole, and this is me just simplifying it for my own brain, but because they are a whole unit of their own, they are able to work in ways that um, bugs can't adapt to. So one minute they think they've got it all sorted, if you think of it that way, and then the next minute there's another constituent within that plant that brings them unstuck. So plants have existed in nature, obviously, forever and a day, and they build a resistance to help them to thrive, and that's where we are getting majority of the essential oils from. Okay, they assist with fungal infections, viral, parasitic, and different respiratory tract infections. They're also going to be phenomenal for type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, and metabolic disorder. Now, you will find that cassia is in some blends, which assists with the metabolism. So, what do they call it now? Metabolic disorder is the new terminology around type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is something that you can definitely work to eliminate. Yep. Inflammatory conditions are the general ones, but main focus in the lungs. Think of it in the lungs. Also there to assist with rheumatoid arthritis, irritable bowel issues, gout, eczema, chronic sinusitis, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and periodontitis, which is the issue in your mouth. Okay, it will also assist with menstrual cramping. It'll help with acne, hyperpigmentation. A lot of these things are linked together, okay? When you look, so I'm rattling off a whole heap of symptomology, if you like, or uh, issues, diseases, whatever you want to call it. These are just labels that have been put onto things. All of them will stem from a similar root cause. And when I read through these lists, the majority of them is from inflammation and mucus buildup. So Cassie is going to help you with that. Assist with general pain management. Can help with male reproductive issues and it's going to assist with the protection against neurotoxicity. This is in terms of the brain and assist with Parkinson's disease. So there's a lot of benefits, potential benefits wrapped in around what comes in this tiny little bottle, okay? Yes, you can cook with it, but the main chemical constituent is an aldehyde. So this is why it's a little bit spicy when it gets on your skin. And it's not, no essential oils should be just drunk anyway on their own. They should always be diluted. You should always be working with the carrier oil and primarily use them aromatically. Okay, unless there's some other reason that you need them specifically for topically, and then there's going to be a mechanism to put it together, like the wound healing spray. You want to use these aromatically, which is just like that. Okay, so molecular and cellular biological pathways and mechanisms. So you've got your anti-inflammatory effects. Cinnamaldehyde, a major constituent of cassia, suppresses the synthesis and release of pro-inflammatory cytokines and enzymes. What's that mean? It means it just assists the body with settling that inflammation down. It's going to help to signal your immune system to just calm it all down. Okay. Um, it can improve macrophagy polarization. Macrophages are your cleanup crew. Yep, they're part of our white blood cells, or they're part of our cells, immune cells, sorry, and they're in there to clean things up. So improving their polarization means shifting the cells from their pro-inflammatory state to an anti-inflammatory one. So instead of putting fuel on the fire, they're going to put water on it instead, right? Um, What else do I want to share with you from this? But the biggest thing probably for me for Cassia is the insulin side of it. So supporting the body with the blood sugar regulation, glucose, insulin, all everything that's wrapped up in the metabolic side of it. The other biggie for me with Cassia is the way that it is able to assist with the antimicrobial and antiviral side of life, right? So again, it's that cinnamaldehyde, which is the chemical constituent that disrupts the integrity of bacteria and fungal cell membranes, leading to cell lysis, inhibits biofilm formation, reducing bacterial resistance and persistence. The oil also inhibits the growth of viruses, in brackets, influenza A virus. So effectively, you could be putting yourself together a little bit of your own flu concoction to assist you going into the winter season. Now, I'm sharing quite openly on this video. There's a lot of research being done now. This isn't voodoo anymore. You're hearing from someone who's clinically trained and practices in clinic, as well as has years of research and study behind them. And I am sharing with you from people that have even longer years of research and study behind them and clinical applications with this sort of knowledge, okay? So you can rest assured that everything that we're talking about is going to assist you in some way. But if you have specific concerns, you need to reach out, okay? Happy to help you. This is the idea. We now need to start sharing and talking some more. I'll get off my soapbox. Okay, so they're the two biggies for me, right? Let's help with your blood sugar regulation. Let's help with your metabolic side of life. Let's calm that inflammatory system down. But at the same time, let's make sure that any of the bugs and things that you've got in your system don't stand a chance to hang around. Is this something that you could work with in conjunction with an antibiotic that you get from a doctor? Most definitely. Why? Because the antibiotic, the bug might be resistant to the antibiotic that you get from your GP, general practitioner, or chosen healthcare practitioner that can write you a prescription and wants to. So, yes, it will work alongside it. Why? Because the cassia is going to help to break that biofilm. Okay, it's going to bust up that bad dude's defense mechanism, which will allow that antibiotic to work that even more better. Ah, such a simple way to explain it. What else do I want to tell you? From the neuroprotective perspective, this is important to me. Why? Because my journey with health has sort of traveled through my body, but many, many years ago, it began with the brain and the blood inside the bones in particular, but the brain, and it seems like it's circling back into that pattern again. So as a side note, when we as humans hit 48 to 52, that sort of bracket, we have a few things going on, right? From a metaphysical perspective, we've got some external influences happening, which are there to give us a little bit of a kick in the bum and get us moving in the right direction in terms of our health. The other thing that happens is that from a physiological perspective, we are going to have mini flare ups or we're going to have little opportunities to address things that maybe we didn't address in earlier life. That's where I'm sitting at now. So, personally, that's my interest in the neural side of things. The mechanism with the neuroprotective effect is that it protects neurons against toxicity and cell death, potentially by reducing oxidative stress and preserving neuronal function. The model it was shown, the model it was using showed it protected against showed that it protected against a chemical, a neurotoxic chemical that researchers study for Parkinson's disease. Okay, I'm not going to give you the full side of it. But yeah, very important for that, right? Dopamine producing neurons, oxidative stress production. We know with Parkinson's, we know with a few other neurological issues, because the brain is one of the most under-researched areas of the human body at the moment, where we sit within 2026. But dopamine is one of those chemical responses that we need a hand with when we are facing neurological challenges. And that can be as simple as an addiction to scrolling, an addiction to something that gives you that hit, right? Because that's where you're needing your dopamine. So it could be as simple as using some cassia in a combination with wild orange and or an orange or maybe with another citrus, just to assist your body in that way. So I'll just jump across to another book and just double check. I'm pretty sure I've had a look. So in terms of odor, if you're wanting to blend this, because you can blend it into a perfume base as well, it blends extremely well with cypress. Cypress is also amazing for circulation as a side note. So if you've got that issue with cold feet, cold lower legs, cold hands, you may want to blend it with cypress and frankincense and geranium and a carrier oil and massage it onto your feet and into your lower legs. If you've got issues with your lower legs, that could be an issue with your liver. So you could potentially massage into that liver area as well. Maybe if you travel across to the left side, you might be talking to your pancreas. So there's heaps of really cool ways to apply this onto your body to help that too, right? It also blends really well with lavender and rosemary and all the spice oils. So think turmeric, black pepper, cardamom, all of the spice oils is going to blend extremely well with. It is a middle note, which means that it will be 50 to 80% of the blend will be that smell. And the scent is spicy, warm, and sweet, and it's an intensity of 5, so it is pretty intense. There's a lot of research articles around it. Some of the research has been done in animals, which I'm not so cool with, and also means that hasn't transposed across to humans. Some of the research now is being done on humans, so that's cool. Why don't we research on ourselves? From a emotional perspective, Cassia is a bit of an interesting one. Why? Because Cassia assists with self-acceptance, if you like, um, in terms of the sacral chakra type area. Cassia is closely related to cinema, like I've talked about, cinnamon. And again, okay, that's self-acceptance, self-assurance. If you have been through a process of feeling worthless, judged, insecure, humiliated, embarrassed, hiding, shy, it may be an oil that you want to blend with some others. So maybe with the turmeric. Pink pepper would be a real spicy blend if you want to really step into life. Pink pepper and cassia, oh my goodness, maybe tone it a little bit with some lavender or something. But very vivacious, right? Get you out there. Because the positive properties that fall in from the emotional perspective with cassia are courageousness. We probably need a bit of that in the world right now. Some self-assured again, unashamed of who you are and what you're doing. Confident, valued, and authentic. So cassia brings gladness and courage to the heart and the soul. Courage to the heart and the soul. It is a wonderful remedy for the shy and the timid, and it helps those who hold back and try to hide. When a person avoids being the center of attention, cassia can restore their confidence. Similar to cinnamon, cassia dispels fear and replaces it with self-assurance. Challenges individuals to try even when they're afraid of making mistakes. Cassia aids those who feel foolish by helping them see their own brilliance. It supports the soul in seeing its own value and potential, and cassia assists individuals in discovering their innate gifts and talents. Invites you to let your light shine and live from your true self. So pretty cool that we start our 40-day journey with cassia. I want to show you something, two other things, all right? It's quite important for me that I share this with you. So again, quickly give you the blend for the wound healing spray. So you will need a spray bottle, 10 ml is fine, 15 ml, just a little spray bottle. We're healing wounds here, okay? So this is a wound that maybe you got a cut on your skin, perhaps you've grazed your knee. Personal examples for me were working with cancers on my dad's head. So things that were burnt off or cut out, and knowing full well that his body was riddled with golden staph. So that I can talk about this sort of thing, why it's a personal journey, it's a personal experience. So with that particular wound spray and what I have seen work time again in the clinic with everybody that I have given this spray to, it is in a 15 ml bottle, you need 5 to 10 drops of cassia, 5 to 10 drops of tangerine, 5 drops only of thyme. You will then top that up with colloidal silver and distilled water. so filtered water, okay? Every time you go to use this, you want to give it a shake. Now, I want you to understand that this is a spicy blend. What's that mean? Do not spray it in your eyes, up your nose, or on any sensitive parts of your body. Okay, that's the disclaimer. If you would like to use it for issues that you've got on your face, on your head, then I would suggest that you use it as a blend in a container. So the point to remember here is that when you are working with a bacteria, a fungal infection, anything like that, whilst it's fun to make roller blends, it is not fun to know that you are rolling that bacteria onto that roller bottle and then rolling it onto another area. So just visualize that, okay? Yes, we're going to trust that the oils will work, which they will. However, I'd rather that you didn't just cross-infect yourself. So get yourself either another spray bottle, which you're just going to use oil in, or you can just get a little dish, and this is preparation for healing, okay? In that dish, you want to put the ratio is 1 to 1, okay, of cassia and tangerine, and then half to the thyme. So you would have 1 drop of cassia, let's say two drops of cassia, 2 drops of tangerine, 1 drop of thyme. Then you're going to put at least 15 mils, 5 to 10 mils of carrier oil. So carrier oil can be fractionated coconut oil, it might be hemp oil, it might be olive oil, whatever you've got as your carrier oil, might be olive leaf, might be olive oil, whatever it is that you're using, you want 5 to 10 mils. This is for an adult. For a child, you're going to double it, dial it right up, okay? So you're going to have 20 mils to that 2 to 1 ratio. And if it's for a baby, we need to talk because that's a whole other story. You can use it on the soles of the feet in the same way for metabolic support. So what you might do in terms of metabolic support, you're not so worried about spreading infection, you can make your roller bottle. 15 ml roller bottle, again, 5 drops of cassia in a 15 ml roller bottle. I would also add in maybe some black pepper and some cypress, give you a little bit of spice and circulation. You could also add in grapefruit if you wanted to, but just keep it simple, okay? So there are your 2 takeaways. Now let's jump on and do a share screen because I want to show you a really cool website. I choose to work with doTERRA, and the reason that I choose to work with doTERRA is because of what they do for others. Their quality is there. What I am showing you is their website. This is called Source to You. So you can type in sourcetoyou.com and this will open up a website for them. Now, what you see up the top here is enter your quality ID. Every batch, every bottle of doTERRA's essential oils are tested, and you are able to access that information by entering the little code that's on the bottom of your bottle of essential oil. That is your quality ID. If you enter that in, it will bring you up the testing and the information for that particular bottle of essential oil. Tick number 1 for me, okay? That's quality right there. And it gives me access, which gives me confidence to then use them in my clinic, okay? The other thing is that they share stories about where they go around the world to source their essential oils. Cassia has a story, okay? It's from China and Vietnam. They source it from 2 locations. Why do they do that? Because that assists with supply, okay? doTERRA is a big company. There's a lot of us out there that are using these essential oils. We want to know that we can get them. We also want to know that they're grown in the best environment possible, so it's the most suitable and favorable for the plant. But we also want to make sure that the company that we're buying them from is looking after the place that they're getting it from. So it's a win-win for me, okay? You'll find a lot more information on the Source to You website from these guys. Talks a little bit about the tree as well. Where is my mouse? Okay, so that's going to give you that little bit further information into it, and then you're able to go and find videos on this as well, and just some other tips, right? Staying hydrated with lemon and cassia, different kinds of uses and directions for use. So I encourage you to check this out. You don't need to be a member with doTERRA in order to be able to find this sort of information. You can purchase your essential oils at a full retail price and still be able to get this sort of information. You if you are coming on the journey with me, you're better off getting a wholesale account. I'll just put it out there. That's a 25% discount and you purchase when you like. You can also then look to earn points, reward points for your purchases, the same as what you can everywhere else. So I hope that you have enjoyed the journey today looking into Cassia. A little bit of information there. There's a whole lot more that we can explore. You can go down a deep dive into the chemical constituents if you want to. If you want to talk science talk, more than happy to do that with you. But let's just keep it that high level and in a way that's easy to understand, which is today. So give Cassia a try. Let me know how you go. Give it a smell. I'll also pop a link in the comments and in the description for you to be able to purchase Cassia if you want to link up with me as a part of the organisation that I look after. Um, Always fun to do things together. I look forward to talking to you in the next video.